I'm Joey the Gardener, and I'm here today to show you how to put an outdoor holiday urn together. It's very easy. So the first thing you need is a container that can withstand the winter temperatures. And I just leave the soil that I've had in it for my spring and fall flowers. And you need a centerpiece. A centerpiece, I like the birch look, but you can use the twisted willow, you could use dogwood, whatever you like. I have the twisted willow right here in this one. And any kind of accent that you want to use, if you like birdhouses, lanterns, anything like that, you can put in the middle. I also, you need about 3 different kinds of greens. I've got boxwood, white pine, I've got some silver fir, and of course I've got some cedar. Cedar, I love the smell of cedar, and it always looks great in an urn. So the first thing you want to do is get something that's going to be a nice backdrop, something that stands up nice and straight. Alright, so you start putting anything tall for the backdrop in first. So it's just like when you do your spring and fall urns and the summer urns, that you want your thriller, which is usually the filler which usually fills the inside, and then you want sort of a spiller, something that softly comes out to the side. So we'll start putting some of these together. So I've got about 3. Now why I like the boxwood, I love the texture of it and the height. And the texture looks really great in an outside urn. So I'll just put a few there so it just gives it a really nice look. Now what I'm going to do now is get the cedar. And you have your hand grinders if you need to cut anything. I might cut this a little bit smaller. But don't throw away any of your smaller pieces, because what I've done is I put a little container over a vase, put some lights in, and any other little pieces you can just stick in, and it's a really nice Christmas decoration. So I'm going to put the cedar in. So just cut it to where you want. Just go around and see, you just want to fill it in, make it look nice and fluffy. The nice thing about the cedar, it's nice and airy, so it really gives it a nice look. Okay, so I have some cedar in there. Now I can always add more if I like, but now I want to try to put some of my white pine in. So this is a bit of a spiller because it goes over to the side. And it's really pretty. It's nice. So a lot of times you can go out into the woods, get the greenery that you like. I mean, some of it you can't. You want to go to your local garden center and buy something that you wouldn't find out in the woods. That's great too. And when you first put your urn together, if it's still kind of warmish, because our winter, well, our December and November have been fairly warm, just make sure they're watered. I mean, if it's been raining and stuff, that's great. Once it freezes, you don't have to worry about it, and it's great right until the spring. So once you freeze it, you just enjoy the look. So we just put some white pine. Okay, so I've got my white pine in. And this I purchased pine from the garden center, which just gives it a nice airy look. So I'll just place this around, and all the textures really make it look great. The different textures, the different colors, it's all airy inside. And I'll probably just put a few more. Now you can just play around with it. Whatever you have, just fill in with anything that you have. And remember, the little bits you could use, for anything else that you want maybe in your house. This one has a little bit of a funny top, so So now, you look at it, look around. I might want to put a little bit more in. And see how the white pine really just comes over nicely. It gives it a really nice look and fills in. Now you want to accent whatever style you want. Like if you really like the glitzy look, then you put that in. I did the red, I put some red berries, with a curly willow like I said, and a nice big red bow. The hydrangea that I put in there, I just spray painted them like a gold color, and you could spray them. There's a floral spray paint that you can use so it dries fast. So you can do anything like that for your hydrangeas if you want to put them a little bit different. So as a magnolia leaves, which I love the look of these. So what I'm going to do is just cut some here. And just sort of place them in. Just sort of tuck them in so you see a nice bit of color. And usually it's nice to do, sets of 3. It's more interest to the eye than if I just did 2. They say 3, 5. It's always an odd number. It's just more pleasing to the eye. So I'm just going to put one more in. I'm just going to tuck it in. Just so you can see a little bit of texture, a little color difference. And then I love the hydrangeas. I just cut these from my garden. So I'm just going to put them around, just tuck them in. So remember, this is a very simple, like woodsy kind of look. And you can do whatever you want, whatever your decoration style. If you have a wreath on the door and you want to match it, you can do something like that. So just use your imagination. And then I always see these year to year, the nice big pine cones gives it a nice accent. And I always save the birch. This over here. I'm just going to cut that a little bit. And just nestle that into there. That I've made up and just wired. So this is just a nice, sort of goes with my the whole woodsy kind of look. And I just want to tuck it in to the center. And just have it like that. So what I might do, I might just add a little bit more boxwood. I love the look of the boxwood just to fill it in. It gives it a really nice full look. But whatever greenery that you have and that you really love, just play around, and just once you have it in, you just take a good look at it and just fill in. I'm just going to put some of the curly willow in here just to finish it off. Now if you were using, if you were doing sort of a reddish type, you could use the boxwood. Just gives it sort of a, well, again, more texture and a little bit more interest. Just stick that in there. So remember, if you're doing the Christmas kind of thing too, they have lots of nice Christmas balls, ones that don't break, that you could just put in the Christmas theme. Like if I was doing the red, I might do that. And just have fun with it. Use your imagination, and we'll see you next time.